Get ready for your weekly dose of pixie dust with Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. We are now just 1 week away from the Season 6 premiere of Disney Coast to Coast. That's right, Season 6 of DCTC will premiere on Wednesday, January 30th, and I cannot wait to share some more magic with you. I wanted to use this hiatus mini-sode to let you know about some things you can expect from Season 6 of the show. The segments you love will be returning, including Disney Dialogue, Primetime at the Parks, Trip Reports, interviews, and more. Plus, I'll continue to bring on informative and entertaining guest co-hosts throughout the season. The big change coming to Disney Coast to Coast for Season 6 really involves you, the Disney Coast to Coast community. I thank you for all of your emails and messages through social media, sharing your love for the show and the desire to get more involved. As you probably know, last season I launched a Patreon page for Disney Coast to Coast, but this season I've really amped it up over there, offering rewards starting at just $1 per month. If you're not familiar with Patreon, it's a way for audiences to become part of a fan community while supporting the products they love. Now don't worry, episodes of Disney Coast to Coast are and will remain free to listen to, but I've created some rewards that I think you're really gonna like. For just $1 support, you'll become part of the Disney Coast to Coast Patreon community, which allows you access to my Patreon feed. There is so much Disney news out there that sometimes I'll release a House of Mouse Headlines episode, and immediately following there will be some news that I want to talk to you guys about. Patreon makes it easy for me to have that conversation with you. I'll be sharing my thoughts on Patreon about the current Disney news, and you get to reply. Let's start a conversation, and who knows, maybe you'll even hear your comments on a future episode of the show. You never know what will pop up in the Patreon feed. You may just get to vote what the next episode release will be about. Also in this $1 tier, you'll have access to exclusive behind-the-scenes content shared only on Patreon. On top of all that, you have the option to see your name on the official Disney Coast to Coast website, DisneyCoastToCoast.com. There are numerous other tiers where you can get things like the chance to be part of a live stream Q&A session where you can ask me any questions you may have, or we can just chat about our favorite Disney topics. Have you ever wanted early access to episodes of Disney Coast to Coast, as well as the Disney Coast to Coast Disney Music playlist? Well, now you can get just that. Hear episodes of Disney Coast to Coast before it's released to the general public over on Patreon. One of my favorite new Patreon features are items I'm calling Magical Bands. Why Magical Bands? Well, simply to avoid a lawsuit. Seriously though, I love these things. Every month I'll mail you a different silicone wristband featuring Disney quotes and phrases, often related to a current Disney event. For instance, the May Magical Band could be in honor of Disney's Hollywood Studios' 30th anniversary. I've been brainstorming ideas for these magical bands, and I think you're really going to love them. Patreon is the only place where these magical bands will be available. One of the questions I get most often in my inbox is who does the Mickey Mouse sound-alike voice at the end of the Disney Coast to Coast episodes? Well, if you didn't know, it's actually me. For one of the tiers available, I will create a message just for you that sounds like Mickey Mouse. Have you ever wanted to be on an episode of Disney Coast to Coast? Well, now you can, as there's an option to be part of a trivia time segment on the show. So get your best Disney trivia questions ready, and let's see if you can stump me. For those of you looking for professional credits more than fun, you can be credited as an executive producer of Disney Coast to Coast and hear your credit on the show. And if you're looking to be a major supporter of Disney Coast to Coast and become part of the DCTC Patreon community, I think a trip to Disneyland Park for the two of us is in order. Check out all of these rewards and more over at patreon.com/DisneyCTC. That's patreon.com/DIZNEYCTC. Whether you've been listening for one season of the show or all 5 previous seasons, I would really appreciate it if you could at the very least head to patreon.com/DisneyCTC just to check it out. If you can't remember patreon.com/DisneyCTC, simply head to DisneyCoastToCoast.com and you'll find a link there. Whether it's a $1 tier or a $25 tier, I thank you all so much for becoming part of the DCTC Patreon community. It's because of folks like you that I can continue to produce new episodes of the show, so thank you so much. And while I'm thanking all of you, I want to give a special thank you to Gaft24, who left DCTC a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. Gaff24 said, I've become a huge fan of this podcast in the past year. Jeff has fantastic guests on it and really interesting topics. I have a hard time choosing my favorite episodes because it keeps getting better and better. He also is a pretty funny guy. Thank you. And I love yelling at him in my car when I disagree. You're welcome. And laughing at his Honey, I Shrunk obsessions. Anyway, if you're going to do one Disney podcast, it's definitely this one. Well, thank you so much for the 5-star rating and review, Gaft24. I sure am happy to hear how much you enjoy yelling at me in the car. If you haven't yet, be sure to leave Disney Coast to Coast a 5-star rating and review on iTunes to help other Disney fans find the show more easily. That's going to do it for the final hiatus mini-sode of Disney Coast to Coast before the Season 6 premiere. We are now officially less than 1 week away from the season premiere, and it'll be available to you even sooner if you become part of the Disney Coast to Coast Patreon community. Have a magical week, folks. Bye!
Thanks for watching Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.
Disney Coast to Coast is produced and hosted by Jeff DePaoli. Learn more about the podcast and become a supporter at DisneyCoastToCoast.com.